Evening, everybody. I want to ask you something. What do these three have in common? Now, I know you're going to say, well, they're all connected to the movie that you did that's at the end, The Avengers. Very true. But what do they have? But what else do they have in common? They're all Marvel. Okay. But there's something else, something that you don't know. What do they have in common? Oh, maybe that title above kind of tells you. What does that title say? On demand is the cheap way to go. It is true. It's the cheap way or the easy way to go, all depending on your preference. You see, I talked about this before when I kind of did a DVD update many months ago. And I showed that I had added Thor and Captain America to the collection. But you see, there's something else. Something entirely different. Different, if you will, than just that. Well, okay, let me correct myself. Let me restart. What I'm trying to say is, normally, a lot of people will rush out, and they will buy these movies on Blu-ray and DVD. Now, what I was trying to say is that any time in the past few years, when a movie comes out to DVD and Blu-ray, it also is released it's also released through digital, and it's also released on demand. That's true. See, I remember when cable started going digital, and they had these on-demand channels. Now, I could be wrong, but never once did I ever remember the on-demand the cable company advertising that movies that would come out on Blu-ray and DVD, or just DVD at the time, and probably still VHS, slightly, or even HD DVD when it was trying to make a run for the money. Never once did I ever hear them say, oh, by the way, you could also watch it on demand the same day it comes out. Never once did I ever hear that. Nowadays, you hear them advertising and say, you can catch it on demand 28 days before it's officially available on Redbox and Netflix. You're thinking, whoa, what a change, right? What a change from when they first started with on-demand with where you could watch movies and all that, to now. And maybe I'm wrong, but never once, like I said, do I remember them ever talking about the fact that you could watch a movie on its official release date onto DVD and Blu-ray the same day. Not once did I ever hear when it first started that you could watch it on television without having to go to the rental store, without having to go and spend the money at Walmart or Target or wherever. And you probably wonder, well, why? Why did that happen? And why, as your title would say, is the cheap way / easy way to go? Well, it's real simple. You see, if you take away all the charges off your cable bill, take all the charges, everything that's added onto your cable bill, if you take that all away, and you just leave the movies, and maybe even the events, but more so, let's say the movies that you've ordered off on demand, and you're only going to have maybe a $5, $6, $7, maybe a $10 bill, and that's it. That's all your bill would be if you take out all the other charges. $10 would be all you'd be charged, the most for. And it all depends on what version, of course, you want to order. I mean, when they started doing this, of course, you could only go one way, and that was standard. Then they went HD. You had 2 options. And now you got 3D. You got 3 options. And with each different option, the price does increase. With the standard option, you basically pay $5. HD, $7. And of course, actually, standard version is $5. HD is $6. 3D is $7. Yeah, it's hard to believe, right? It's hard to believe that you could get movies like this on demand and not have to worry about paying the full price at a video store. Now I know you're thinking, well, Brian, that sounds good and all, but what about those of us that don't have the means? Are you serious? What home doesn't have a DVR in the home right now? What home doesn't have a DVD recorder? And what home probably doesn't have one of those Blu-ray recorders? A lot, honestly. Now I know, I understand that not many can afford it. But I'm pretty sure that there's more than maybe 50% of the populace out there, 50% of the households out there, if not more so, that have at least some kind of recording device. Whether it's the old-fashioned VHS or VCR, whether it is a DVD recorder, whether it's a Blu-ray recorder, or whether it's a DVR, they have some means. Out of those 50% plus, there's probably some means out there that allow people to record stuff like this, order stuff like this, and record it, and have it in the library without no problem. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. And when you think about it, the Avengers came out today on DVD and Blu-ray. And digital copy, and of course on demand. Now, if you go online, like at Amazon.com, you go to Walmart and Target, the DVD basically goes for about $17. The Blu-ray may be for about $20, maybe $5. Or basically $25 at the most, all depending. But think about it this way: depending on what kind of recording method you have, whether it's the DVRs, whether it's the DVD recorders, DVDRs, as they call it for short, or the VCRs, or even the Blu-ray the BDRs, the Blu-ray recorders. Depending on which kind you have, it's always a cheaper way to go on demand, to go with the on-demand option if you can, and get it that way. Now, like I said, it all depends on what your option is. Your recording option is. If it's a DVD recorder, that's great. Those can be found affordably now. Depending on what brand and what kind you want, they'll have very reasonable prices nowadays. Blu-ray recorders, maybe not so much. DVRs, well, of course, you gotta get that with whatever service you have, whether you're AT&T, whether you're Direct or Dish, or whether you're Comcast or Time Warner. You always gotta get the DVR box when you upgrade your service, especially if you have HD or 3D television. But the point I'm trying to make is this: it is good to go out and want to buy the DVD or buy the Blu-ray, if you will, because it gives you more than just the movie. It gives you alternate endings and openings. It gives you extra features you don't see anywhere else. But when you think about it, on demand does the same thing. On demand is a cheaper way to go, and it does the same thing. It gives you the movie. I only paid $5 for this. I ordered this for $5. Yeah, it gets added onto the bill, and a lot of people say that's a disadvantage about it. But think about it. Would you rather chuck out $17 to $25 for a DVD or a Blu-ray, or whether you just have $5 to maybe $7 added onto your cable bill, or your Dish Network bill, or your AT&T bill, or whatever service you have? Would you rather have that? I think the answer is easy, folks. Option B. Yeah, again, I understand people like to go out and buy the movies because you get stuff you don't normally get otherwise. And sometimes you just want to go out and buy the movie because you want to buy the gift set or the box set that it's in. You want to get that because things in it that even if you order the movie on demand, you can't get with that. It's not like the cable or dish service or whoever's going to mail us the stuff that you would get in a set, in a box set or a gift set. I mean, you normally wouldn't get that. I mean, one of the sets they got going right now at several stores is you get the movie, you get both copies of the movie, Blu-ray and DVD, and you get a graphic novel of the Avengers. Pretty good deal. And then they got this other thing that they were going to bring out, but they had to hold they had to hold off on until further notice, which is probably next year when Iron Man 3 comes out. And that's the Avengers Assemble set, suitcase set, whatever you want to call it. And it's got more than just the movies, and it's got both copies of the movie, but it's got more than that. And again, I can understand people wanting to go out and spend money for that because it's a collector's item. I mean, I went out with Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man in 2002 came out. When it came to DVD, I went out and I bought the gift set. I bought the gift set with the reprint of Amazing Spider-Man, and of Amazing Fantasy #1. I bought the gift set that gave you a sample gave you a piece of the film that they used on the projectors with a scene in it. I did that, and I still have that box set. The point I'm trying to make is I understand why people would want to go out, but it's mostly sometimes not just to get the movie, the DVD, or the Blu-ray version of Blu-ray release of the movie as itself. Most of the time it's to go out and get whatever package deal you get with it, whatever kind of set you might get with it. And that's all cool and everything, but in today's economy, I think anybody would agree. I think anybody out there will agree. On demand is the cheaper and easier way to go. And especially if you have a recording device of some kind, like a DVD recorder, Blu-ray recorder, DVR, or even a VCR, believe it or not, it's an easier, cheaper way to go. So, and that is what these three have in common. These three, along with X-Men First Class and Green Lantern, were ones that I got off on demand. So, but that's my point. But I just thought I'd point that out to a lot of people. So, you got any comments, let me know down below. Thank you all for watching. God bless. Take care. Video response if you like. Peace out.